What's up, everybody? Tiffany Outdoors here today. I want to try and build a little cat bed. A friend of mine on Facebook, he posted the picture and I really liked it, so I wanted to see if I can make it. Now, I don't know how much they're charging. It's for sale on Etsy, but I went to Lowe's, got some supplies, went to the Restore, got some supplies there. Now I'm ready to try this build. Let's do this. There's the hawk. Before there was a Tiffany Outdoors, there was Tiffany the Farmer.
On a U-turn when possible.
No, we're not U-turning.
Hi. Hi, what are you doing? Hi, Boo.
Here's a picture of it. This is what it looks like. There we go. This is what it looks like. A cute little kitty in there. Got a little bed and everything. I want to see if I can make this. My legs are gonna be different, but let's see what happens. I have no measurements. Don't know how big this is. Don't know how big I'm gonna make mine. So there's that. I've got my measurements and I'm using 3/4 inch plywood. This is the wood that I got from the Restore. Oh, the hawk. Oh goodness. This hawk photobombs me. Look at this. Gorgeous. That hawk's probably about 50 yards away from me. Absolutely beautiful. Is it ready to take off or poop? Yeah, okay. Well, it did both. Alright, where was I? Starting off with 3/4 inch plywood. I'm trying to do super straight lines. I'm gonna see if I can do that. So I have a straight edge there. I got this thing from Harbor Freight, but that right there is not square with the wood. Anytime I've ever used that section against the wood, it's always, all my cuts come down as a slant. So I use 2 framer squares, or whatever this thing is. 2 of these framing squares, 1 on each end to make sure that's straight, clamp that down, and then now I'm gonna go along with my circular saw right down there and cut this. It's going to be 14 inches tall. It didn't work, and I accidentally cut it at 12 inches instead of 14. Oh, fiddle faddle. And it's still crooked. I'm just gonna freehand it, y'all. Alright. Alright, I've decided to go 12 inches long. No, 12 inches high, 16 inches long. I'm going to use my first board as a template to cut the second board. And these will be the top and bottom. Alright, y'all, change of plans. I want to make 4 of those. Those are going to be the sides. I decided to make those the sides. And the top and bottom is going to be a lot bigger, about 1.5 inches bigger, since I'm using 3/4 inch plywood, but we'll get to that. But I'm going to make these the sides, so I need 4 sides. I gotta do this 2 more times. Okay, the next thing I needed to decide is how big to make this opening. I'm going to go 6 inches here, and this is 1 inch from the bottom, and this is the top. I did 1 1/4 inches down, And 6 inches this way. I'm going to draw a line here. And then I'm going to take something round and round off these corners here. There we go. And there we go. Line the edges up. There we go. So that'll be cut out. Alright, got it cut out. One side looks great, the other side not so much, but it's okay. So I'm selecting my next piece that I'm going to cut out, and I picked up this piece that has a lot of knots in it. So you want to make sure that you're not cutting through those. Those knots are very weak points and have a tendency to crack and break off when you cut through them. So when I first picked this piece up, it would have landed like right on the edge of that, and I didn't want that. So what I did was turned it and flipped it and place this here, and see, it'll cut out these 2 knots and still be clear of that one. Okay, that's what this is going to look like when it's fully assembled. I think that's big enough. This table's nowhere near square, of course. But yeah, there we go. I think that's going to be perfect size for a cat. Look at that. That looks good. Okay, now I'm going to measure for the top and the bottom, and then we'll figure out how to connect all of this. I'm thinking I'm going to be using some pocket holes. I think that would be the way to go. All right, I'm going to take some measurements for the top. All right, I'm going to take those measurements, cut my top and bottom, and then I'm going to drill for the pocket holes. All right, got a big old hole right here. I'm just going to take some wood filler and shove it down in there and fill that hole up. I filled in the holes, sanded that down. Now I'm just going to paint the inside black. All of the paint is dry. You guys, there's some background noise. Somebody's doing some yard work a few yards over in that direction. Alright. Now to assemble this. Now I've thought about different ways to assemble this, and I think what I'm going to go with is some Titebond 2 wood glue and some 1-inch brad nails. Now I need to figure out my plan here to get this thing all lined up. This thing is giving me a little bit of a fit. Open these up. I'm just going to use these corner clamps to help me hold things in place while I attempt to put this together. The black goes on the inside. Black goes on the inside. Ouch. Corner clamp here. I just need this to be held together in place. I need to see the fit. Make sure everything lines up the way it should. and that I can get it square, or as square as I can. All right, we'll see how long my brad nailer lasts. It sounds kind of weak, like the battery needs to be charged. I could have swore it was charged up already. Oh well, we'll see what happens. I'll go in with my wood glue. There we go. All right, I'm going to do the other 3 corners and then I'll come back to you. I've got all 4 sides glued and tacked together. Now I need to do my top and bottom, and I need to decide on the bottom. I'm going to work on the bottom piece first. Now I could decide whether I want the board to fit inside here and I tack it in from the sides, or I can take it, trace it out, and there'll be a small lip here, and then I screw it in from the bottom. And I think that's the route I'm going to do, because I feel like it'll be the easiest, and it'll also give me a little bit more room to put the legs on, so a little bit more substrate to put the legs. So I just have this box sitting on here. I'm going to take a pencil, trace it out all around, and cut it out with my circular saw. Oh, that looks so good. I test fit it. It looks good. Now all I need to do is sand and paint that, and then I'm going to cut out the top. Now for some black paint. I'm just using Rust-Oleum black paint, just some gloss paint. Then I marked it with a piece of painter's tape on this side, and I have a B written on the side here, so I know which side to line this up with. All right, now to clamp it down and cut it out. And now to paint this. While the top and bottom paint is drying, I can take that time and use wood filler for these nail holes. I'm going to go ahead and fill those in, and then tomorrow we'll come back, sand this down, attach the top and bottom, and stain. All the paint is dry. Now I'm going to sand down these places where I filled in with wood filler for the brad nails. I'm just going to sand this flat. Just got a piece of scrap sandpaper here. Just going to go over it very lightly. Sandpaper. Now this is the bottom, so we want the bottom to be nice and strong. So I'm going to be using some wood screws. And I'm going to countersink them. Let's see, I'm going to use this as a guide. Mark a line so I know where my 3/4 inches are. That way I know that I'm going to go directly into wood and not off to the side, anything like that. This is just a guide to help me help me stay on course. There we go. Okay, and I'm just going to do some countersunk holes. I think I don't need a whole lot of screws here. Let's see, put one on the end and two like in the middle, like here and here. I think that'll be more than plenty. I also have to keep in mind the legs that I'm going to put on this, and I'm going to be using this hardware A, and I've got several styles of legs that I can choose from, and I'll screw them on and see which one I like best. But that's going to be the advantage of countersinking these holes, is it's not going to, hopefully it will not interfere with this hardware, because I'll have these on the corners here. And it looks like, yeah, it looks like the this hardware is going to clear our holes. All right, let's countersink some holes. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to get these screws started, and I'm going to be using some really nice thick number 8 1 1/4" wood screws. They're nice and thick, so this bottom part will be very sturdy. Alright, I'm filling underneath just to make sure that these screws did not go through. I know that these screws are probably about 1/2 inch, or maybe right at about 3/4. I don't feel anything poking through that might hurt anybody's pet, so that's a good thing. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put these other 3 in here. I have a total of 4, and then I'll come back to you. These are the legs that I have. Aren't these cute? Those are adorable. I think those are going to look really nice. Okay, that looks pretty good. But we still got more stuff to do, so I just wanted to make sure that these screwed in properly. And I wasn't going to have any troubles, and I didn't. Alright, y'all, for the first time ever, I'm going to be using edge banding. So this is going to give this a finished look. I've never used this stuff before. Each project nowadays, I'm trying to elevate my knowledge and learn something new with each thing that I try. So I'm going to use edge banding. Let's see what we got. Hey. Oh, wow. Sweet. That's on there nice and thick. I mean, nice and sturdy. Nice and thick. Alright, so now I got this edge trimmer. Don't know how to use this. I'm going to learn today, though. I'm going to put this against here. Ha 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 ha. Y'all, look at that. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Alright, y'all, I'm going to finish the rest of this, and then I'll come back to you, and then we're going to stain and finish this. Put the legs on, and this is going to be amazing. I'm going to go ahead and paint the legs the same black that I painted the inside. This is the Rust-Oleum Gloss Protective Enamel. Black. Alright, I've got all the veneer on, got it all trimmed and cut. I've filled in all of the gaps and the holes from the from the brad nailer, filled all of those, filled all the gaps along the edges. Now I'm going to wipe this down, sand it, and then we can move on to getting this thing, to getting it stained. It doesn't have to be pretty or perfect. Now there are places where I could improve and do things a little bit better, but overall I really like the way this turned out so far. So I'm going to let that dry overnight, and then I'm going to come back tomorrow, put some polyacrylic on it so it'll have a protective finish on it, and then put the legs on, and then we'll do some final looks. Y'all, this is absolutely adorable. I love the way it came out. Maybe on the next one I'll use some colors that are not quite so subdued and brighten it up some, but this is cute. I love it. Only thing that I would do is add a small cushion in there, and that would be it. Small cushion, something that can be washable. Perfect. That would set that off. Alright y'all, if you like this video and want to see more projects and things like this, hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.